Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Teresa E.
Thank you, Cornsey. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he wrote a blog about that, you drink. If My Sock Summer doesn't know a player mentions his time on the West Coast, you drink. I swear, say here's the thing, you drink. If you tip $1.08, we will all drink. If you tip $5, you could make one of us shut the fuck up for 5 minutes.
I love it.
Fellas, what are you drinking? Beef Loaf, what are you drinking tonight?
Boys, I am back on my shit officially. Did not have rigatoni tonight. Had a little angel hair, which is nice. Nice change up from the rigatoni. Rigatoni is my favorite. Angel hair is probably number 2 favorite. Got the red wine going, and for My Sock Summer, I got the nondescript Diet Cola backup. Give me a little pep in my step at the end of the show. I had someone tell me, you know what, when I come on your podcast, I feel like I got to ramp it up 25% over my normal level of enthusiasm. And so I want to make sure I always bring that. And so when guests come on, they know they got to get their shit ramped up.
You need a little help, a little Tutsarutsky?
That's right.
My Sock Summer, what are you drinking, man?
Tonight, I am starting off with one of these, the Maker's Mark Cast Strength Whiskey. I was telling Loaf before we got started, it is a twist off. Usually bad liquors are a twist off. So this is actually a good liquor. It is 109.4. I will be finishing off after that. After I do this one, I will finishing off with 4 rows of small batches. And then I'm moving on to something I'm not sure I really like, the Elijah Craig small batch. I'm not sure.
How many bottles of whiskey are you going to drink tonight?
Hang on. I hear like police sirens or
That's
something. Who's getting pinched? Which one of us is getting pinched right now? Is that you, Treasy?
Yeah,
okay, just checking.
Yeah, there's not much left in here.
MSS is showing us every single bottle in his entire basement. No one cares. You're like 12 bottles down. That no one cares. You're not going to get to any of that stuff. All right. Thanks, Brian S. for donating $1.08. We will drink for that. I appreciate that.
You got to listen to me. You haven't had me on in a while, so you shut the fuck up and you just listen. Chorizo, what are you drinking?
So for some reason, the 7-Eleven down the street from me has a huge selection of Pipeworks. So I've been, trying some different stuff. So I got the, it's called the Choice Hell's Lager. Oh. I want it to be so choice, but it just says choice.
I'm glad it's not. I'm so happy it's not.
Man, I cannot wait to duct tape you.
There's like some unicorns on the side and stuff. Like there's, I don't know. It's a weird can, but it's pretty delicious. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, that's awesome. It looks like an awesome can. Now, what, like how many deep are you right now of those, Treasy? Like when do you go into the fridge beers? At what point during the show?
So I've got 4 of these.
Okay.
And then I have Tecate after that. So if we get to Tecate, we're having a good time.
We're doing
a real good time.
Oh, I like the
Tecate Platinum.
Oh, no titanium. No titanium.
I wish there was a platinum.
Oh,
the comments are hopping off already. Our guy Zach says he's horny.
Oh, Zach, this is for you, buddy.
And then K-Dog says, my whiskey dick summer. Yes.
Oh, no.
I'm sure that's the case. I'm absolutely positive.
Man, my head is going to be so
just be ready for Cascade tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
I got to blow one out.
I'm looking forward to Cascade. Fuck it. I want to see a 60-year-old DJ spinning for us. That'd be great.
Right? I'm pretty sure it's just DJ Markski. I think that's who we're getting.
That's fine. I don't care.
We don't know who Cascade is, so it won't be any different to us. Beef, how you doing tonight, buddy?
You know what? I'm really good, guys. And the reason why I'm really good is I just got back. That's why I got my name changed to Charm Life Loaf. I just got back from a full week. I'm telling you, a full week, a Wednesday to Wednesday on the lake, vacation, materially unplugged from work. I did check in a little bit, not too much though. And one of these vacations where Mrs. Beef set it up for me, her, and Bonita, we got nothing planned. Nothing we have to do. No, not forced to do a goddamn thing. And so on this vacation, I was swimming, I was sitting in the sun, writing, reading, eating, drinking, watching movies, playing board games and card games. Trees, I even snuck away one morning to visit the beautiful Four Winds Casino in New Buffalo, Michigan, as you might imagine.
How'd that
nice
go?
place. It was nice. Well, I got it down a little bit, but then Ultimate X brought your boy back, and we salvaged the trip a little bit. It was
never went on that.
Good little run on there. I got the multipliers going, baby. You got to hit a few hands in a row in the Ultimate X to get it going. So I ate at a bunch of diners. I love diners. Why don't I eat at diners anymore, Treasy? We would eat at diners a lot. We were a little younger men. This trip, I ate at diners a bunch. In fact, Bonita, cheers, Gordo. Thanks for the drink. In fact, Bonita suggested one night we go out to dinner and have breakfast for dinner. We fucking did that. We drove to South Bend and had breakfast for dinner. It was great. It was tremendous, right? It was like doing all these. I drove a bunch. I drove around places. I never drive when I'm at home. I did all these things that it was just like, man, it is so nice to just do some stuff here. And it was like one of the rare times I was like, I like my job and everything. I had no real complaints about my job, but it was just like, man, it is so nice to just be fucking chilling and doing some stuff. And one of the things I enjoyed most about it was I got to blog a bunch. Got to throw out a bunch of blogs. And I know for some of you, it might have been too many. I know White Sox Sal was complaining that I'm throwing too many blogs about that. But I realized for me, I need to do that. That's really therapeutic for me with the White Sox to write some shit. Even if it's not serious, even if it's funny stuff like the Jake Berger one about his home run trot or whatever, and to get the feedback from all of you. So I appreciate all of you that read the blogs and give me the feedback too afterwards, because it's part of the therapy, part of making me feel good, made my vacation tremendous. And so I came back to work today dreading it a little bit, but I realized I was totally namaste, man. I was feeling absolutely terrific after being kind of out in the, in the elements, in the water, in the lake for a while. And so I ask all of you, go ahead, do that, unplug, get yourself away. Even if you can only get away for a fucking weekend, get yourself out of the rat race, chill out, and do shit you want to do. Don't be so structured in what you want. If you just want to sit on your fat ass and read a book and drink on the beach, do that shit. Do some shit that you really want to do. It's so good for you.
Yes. It's really good to take vacations. It is. Especially if you're gone for a week. Jesus Christ.
Beef, I'm with you on the diners, man. I think diners are underrated, and diners are. Here's a problem that we have now, is there's less and less 24-hour diners around.
You're right.
So after the last Barren Plains show, me and Corin, so we went and dropped all the equipment. Me, Cornsey, Kaz, and his wife. We're like, well, let's go grab something to eat. And I was like, you know where we'll go? Because we're up here. Let's go to Hollywood. It's always open. It's always open.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
No, it's not open 24 hours a day anymore. Not open 24 hours a day. We were driving around like the beginning of Easy Money. We pull up to a place and it was like open 23 hours a day. And it closes on.
Closed.
Saw Pop's last dish. Like everything. But guess where we ended up, Beef? And it wasn't a diner.
Where'd you go?
But our old stomping ground when I lived up in Bucktown, Arturo's.
Yes.
Some late night Arturo's.
I love Arturo's.
I just remember, we got there and it's like, I don't know, it's like 3 a.m. or something. And I just look up at the counter and I'm like, man, I should probably have a Modelo right
now. You feel bad not having one.
I did until I got a Jarritos, and then I felt all right.
I remember you had your apartment in Bucktown, Treasy. We would go there for parties or whatever, and then a mass group from the party would walk down to Western Avenue and go to Arturo's, and everyone get tacos and burritos and stuff. Those were great days back in the day.
The best was the time our guy Bigo was. We got burritos, and then we're coming back, and he's eating his on the way back to my apartment, and he just drops it on the street, just drops it, and he stood and looked at it. You think 5-second rule? He stood and looked at it like almost weeping for like 5 minutes, and then picked it up and started eating it again and kept walking.
Of course.
Vegas has got good diners too. Vegas diners.
Oh, Vegas does have some good
best
some good
24-hour food in the States.
LA does too.
Yes.
I'd say LA has some really good ones, and you could get like pancakes anytime in LA, and they're delicious. A lot of butter. It's weird because you consider California such a healthy place, and like they just jam the butter onto those pancakes. That's how you got to do it.
It's good for you. You can't tell me otherwise. It's good for you.
MSS, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great. And while I was not on vacation for 6 weeks like Loaf, I just had a normal ass time. And I watched the second documentary in the calendar year about Woodstock 99. And I know Summer George tweeted about it, and he said, I mean, why do we need two documentaries about Woodstock 99 in the same year? And he is right. But I had to watch the second one because I had to make sure that I am the foremost authority on Woodstock 99. So if you guys have any questions, anybody, about Woodstock 99, you can ask me and I can probably figure it out and tell you. But
I've
the
seen
one thing that
neither.
is confusing.
MSS.
Okay, well, you're not missing anything. You don't need to watch it. The thing that I don't understand is that Limp Bizkit gets such a bad name. Like, they were the ones that started the fires, that started the riots, that started all this. They were not. It was the Red Hot Chili Peppers that started all the fires and then put it on. Thanks, Shane.
Really? I didn't realize that. I didn't even remember
MSS,
any of
if
this.
you blame Dave Navarro for this, I will fucking come
Here we
to your
go.
house
Here we
right
go.
now.
He wasn't the guitar player at that time.
Okay.
It was
Okay, good.
the other guy. But yeah, no, they went off the stage and the mayor of Rome, New York said, "Slow down. You guys are getting too amped." Okay. And Anthony goes, I can't do anything. Whatever I say, I can't do it. And they say, "Oh, there's a fire going on out there. They're like, we're trying to stop it." And the Red Hot Chili Peppers came out and played "Fire" by Jimi Hendrix. So, as far as I know,
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix is. It's definitely 100% the Red Hot Chili Peppers' fault. But it was also kind of the fault of the promoters for giving 175,000 people candles to light and supposedly like to end gun violence against Columbine that just happened. So anyway,
Sounds like that worked. So
if you don't
thanks
want
to the promoters.
if you don't want to know anything, okay, now Dougie is right. There are a lot of boobs in the Netflix documentary about Woodstock 99. There are tons. So if you're looking for, like, say you were into Girls Gone Wild back in the day, and you want to watch something and say, hey, I'm going to see some new stuff that I've never seen before and pretend that I'm watching a documentary so your wife isn't like, what are you doing? Look at these Girls Gone Wild videos. You could be like, I'm just learning about Woodstock 99. Because, yeah, there are tons of chicks with no tops on. And there's a few dicks, too, including Flea, who probably should be arrested for his role in Woodstock 99 destruction.
I thought we were going to ask you questions, not you tell us who's guilty of crimes at Woodstock 99. What the hell? What the hell is this? What is this? The third documentary? MSS blames Red Hot Chili Peppers for a fire. I mean, what the hell is going on here? What is this? Like, I don't understand.
Let's be careful here. Let's be careful here because we're going down a very slippery slope, and MSS is trying to drag us into it. He's trying to make this a pro Limp Bizkit podcast.
He is.
Which it is not.
I see the approach.
It is not.
He snuck them in there.
66.7% against.
That's right. Just like we're, the most popular minority podcast because we got 2/3 minorities on this show. We're also 2/3 anti-Limp Bizkit. Right?
Exactly.
Fuck Limp Bizkit. And fuck you, MSS.
Oh,
I agree with you, Treasy. I agree with you on that.
I get it.
No, you know what it is? It's not
only
a race
white
thing.
people like Limp Bizkit. I
Fuck
see how it
you.
is.
Fuck Fred Durst. Fuck West Orland. We're out. We're out on this.
We're not here for the nookie,
Orland.
okay? We're not about the nookie, you jerk. All right.
Westmoreland was wearing the monkey face paint for Woodstock 99. And he had like these weird things around his neck. It was
MSS. Was there any band in this documentary that showed out better than you thought? There was like, okay, they kind of gave them a lot of shine that they were good. Because I remember watching the original Woodstock documentary, and the person that still sticks out to me from that show is the opening act of the show, Richie Havens. I'd never heard Richie Havens before. Yeah. He's a folk singer, but he is awesome. And I was like, holy shit, I never even heard of this guy. He never gets brought up. And I watch it in the Woodstock documentary, and I'm like, this guy's amazing. What the fuck?
Yeah. The fact that he was playing a guitar where his hand had worn a hole in the guitar. Like,
that's his axe, baby. That's what he's going with.
Weird though too. Like he's a drummer.
Yeah.
Drums the whole time.
He strums real hard. Yeah.
And Beef, I'm with you. But I mean, I think what really stood out to me in the original Woodstock was Santana. And now, like, I already knew about Santana,
Yeah.
but that performance and I'm blanking on the kid's name, Mitch something, the drummer, just incredible. Just an incredible.
So anything like that, MSS in the 99 documentaries, anything that stood out to you, like musically, or like, oh shit, man, this is really good, or that they tried to pump up that was really good, you know?
They didn't really go over any of the music. I mean, Korn. No, I'm serious, and
Wow,
it's more about the goings-ons. Korn was like really awesome. They showed video of Korn coming out, and like the people were just in waves, like almost 200,000 people just waving, like moshing at the same time. And Jonathan Davis, who was married to like, a porn star for a very long time, was like, it's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. And I'm sure he's seen some shit because I mean, he probably had some fun, like in those days when they were really popular, but to see 200,000 people just like go moving up and down, while they're listening to you yell, lyrics into a microphone, have got to be. And that was pretty cool. And then another thing, an odd thing, was Bush. Bush like came out after Limp Bizkit, and they were like, "What the fuck? Like, how are we supposed to follow Limp Bizkit?" Like, and they came out and they followed him. And Gavin, like, they calmed the audience down. So basically, this documentary like blamed Limp Bizkit, but said that hey. In excess. Bush slowed it down and it stopped it from getting too crazy.
My guys, Gavin Rossdale's my guy, man.
Gavin Rossdale kind of looked like Michael Hutchins. I mean, there's a little bit of a similarity.
Beef, they just put out a new track. You should go check it out.
Did they?
It's not that good.
There's been nothing since Razorblade that was good. Like that.
No. They have a good album in there. They have a good album in there.
Okay, you got to point in that direction.
Like only like a year or two ago it came out too. It's actually pretty good.
Little known fact about Korn: when we were in high school and we would party at my buddy Dr. Feelgood's house because his parents would let us have parties there and stay there. Teresa E got Korn banned from our music playlist that night. So his parents would let us party our fucking balls off in the basement. They never said a goddamn thing to us, except for one time his dad said, "What was this song with this, thing?" And Teresa's like, "Oh, that's Korn." He goes, "Yeah, don't play that ever again." So he got Korn completely banned from these parties.
The low end was really it was riding up through the house. But it's funny. There's a bunch of people in the comments mentioning Korn and like how big they were focused on in this thing and how they made them sound so big. And it's true because our buddy Dom from the UK, he messaged me the other day and he's like, I was watching this Woodstock 99 thing. He's like, was Korn the biggest band in America for like a period of time? And I was like, no. I mean, they were big.
They were huge, like an alternative. They were huge with a certain segment of people. Like,
exactly.
I remember like the people that were a couple years younger than me were over Korn, man. Like,
it was big. It was big for a short while. But like, if you compared them, even at that time or any time around it, with someone like Pearl Jam's playing like Soldier Field.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, that's not.
Korn's playing, maybe Allstate, right? Like so.
Yeah.
Like this must have portrayed them as being like the most important band in the U.S. at the time.
They said they were really big, but like the big bands did not play. Like Rage Against the Machine was way bigger than any of those bands, and they weren't playing, and they would have probably started fires too.
Sorry,
that White Sox shutting down.
I guess it's my turn to talk.
So, just for those listening on the podcast feed, White Sox Sal says, already tired of MSS showing up to work. Shut the fuck up or drink for $5. Treasy has decided MSS will shut the fuck up. Apparently, no, he hasn't. Yeah. We could just drink for it if we want. Treasy, I'll leave it up to you. You're the star of the show.
Fine, we'll just drink.
We gotta buy. Okay, we'll just drink. We won't shut you up. MSS.
Fucking go to hell.
Right,
but only because I have a question for MSS.
Before we jump over to Treasy just for 1 second, I just want to bring this up to you guys. Our guy, Soxwood, has been all over me all week. We need to figure out a way to shame Billy Wires into going to more games. He's been telling me we got to talk about it on the podcast. I should put out as a 108 poll. Billy Wires needs to attend more games. So I just want you to keep this in mind. I want this, interject it where you can during the show. We got to shame the shit out of Billy Wires and Senor Sox for that matter. But it's more fun to shame Billy because I think he really feels bad. Senor Sox gives no fucks. But just a reminder to keep that top of mind. So
will do.
Treasy,
By
how
the
you
way,
doing, baby?
Billy should come to more games.
Well, we know once Billy built the pool, he was never coming to a game again.
That's
I mean, I can't believe he's in
too
here.
cold.
He's in here pulling at my socks over, blaming his
Yeah.
kids. Fuck off, Billy. I got kids. I go to every game. All right.
And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say
Piss
this
off.
right now. If I had an in-ground pool in my backyard, I mean, I'd still go to Sox games because I live right up the street. But
That's right.
me and my kids would be in that goddamn pool all the fucking time. Like I would do that until I couldn't do it no longer, because you can't do that for 6 to 7 months out of the year here. You gotta get them pool weekends in. I get it, Billy. I don't want to see you either. So no big deal.
Treaso, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. I'm also watching some documentaries. I just watched it, and I'm way behind on this one, which was the Battered Bastards of Baseball. I don't know if you guys have watched that, but it's good. I would say put that on the list of ones to watch, because it's about something pretty awesome where a guy buys a minor league baseball team and just like does whatever the fuck he wants. And this is in the 70s. But it's even cooler because it's Kurt Russell's dad. So it's a really interesting story, and it really I mean it's really cool when you think about Beef, when you think about like those guys that ran the minor league team for like a year, and those types of stories. Like this is in that vein. It was really cool. But the thing that we've been watching recently was on Disney Plus. They got this Light and Magic docuseries about the Industrial Light and Magic special effects shop. And like it's how it came up and stuff, and that part's really cool and stuff. But we're watching, we're watching it, and one of the things that they did was T2, with the whole Robert Patrick going through the in the metal and everything.
It's like liquid.
And so I'm watching
David
that, and I'm thinking about
that's right.
I'm thinking about how good that movie was, and then I'm watching that new Predator movie the other day, and like thinking back to the Arnie Predator, and then today Total Recall was on. Oh, and so my question to you guys is, what's your favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? Because it's tough. There's so many good ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. Wow, that's tough. I tell you what movie it's not my favorite, but just to get the conversation flowing, I've newly enjoyed Jingle All the Way, and I know it's a cheesy Christmas movie. But I like that Arnold can spray to all fields, and he can do a cheesy-ass Christmas movie and make me laugh my ass off and enjoy. And there's parts Sinbad. I'll have to admit, Sinbad is actually funny in this movie. It's a rarity for him to actually get me to chuckle, but like he does a good job there too. But Teresa, you're right, man. There's so many good ones, man. Predator and Total Recall, and I mean, there's just
Commando.
Yeah, exactly.
Total Recall's pretty damn good. I'll tell you that one.
I mean, The Running Man is probably my favorite because it's the one I'll go back and watch over and over again. So I think that's probably my favorite.
That's actually my favorite. It's a movie that I like. Every time it's on, I stop and watch it just because Dweezil Zappa is so damn good in it. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that one is probably my top. I really like Total Recall though. I was watching that today, and I forgot how much I love it, and I forgot that at the end they shoot the one guy like 47 times, but then the thing opens up and he's going to fly out, and he's holding on to the side of the thing like nothing has happened. He's just been shot 150 times.
Doesn't matter. That's fine.
And now he's healthy.
It's totally fine.
MSS, what's your favorite?
I really love Commando, and I have like an Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando action figure that I had as a child. But I think I don't know why, but I haven't watched Commando as much as I've watched Predator. And I think Predator is probably my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And that was just like a whole cast and just a great movie. And just I mean, being a kid that played in the woods all the time and like had the woods and had back weird areas, like Predator was dope because you're like, oh man, we can build this shit in the backyard, or when we go so and so's house, we can go build a pit that somebody will get staked to death in. That will be awesome. So yeah, that was probably my favorite. Yeah, Predator. I'm gonna go with that one. Plus it was cool. It was like you didn't know what it was. It was like the unknown. And man, love the unknown.
No, MSS. It was a unique concept. It was not something you'd seen in movie, right? Like nowadays, they're fucking remaking everything. But that was some unique shit at the time. It was like, what the hell?
was.
You didn't know what the monster was, and it was this invisible thing, and then it turns out that like it was fucked up. I loved it
He
too.
starts laughing.
I'm pretty
when he's
sure-
gonna die. That's
I'm pretty sure, and maybe I'm mixing things up, but I'm pretty sure that originally the Predator, like the person that was going to be in the costume, was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No,
But-
how dare you?
I swear to God. But then they changed the way it looked, and so it needed to be like way taller, and then it was not him.
Timothy Maher is backing you up here.
Okay, yeah, okay. I don't know if that's why they kicked him off, but yeah, it's like he was originally in that suit.
and Brian S. also backing you up. He's saying, yep, it was. Van Damme was going to be in that suit.
God damn. I want to see the
What
new
a memory
one.
you have, Treasy.
wanna
Fuck,
see
I
that.
can't believe
So,
this.
MSS, I will tell you, you need to watch the new one. The new one I
Okay.
thought was very good.
It looks
That was
good. It looks
It's a-
good.
And it definitely kind of wipes out a few movies where it's like, that shit didn't ever happen. But that's fine.
Senor Socks would like to have us to have a drink for Violet Myers. Thank you, Senor Socks. I
R.I.P. in
appreciate you,
peace,
brother.
Violet.
Yeah. Might be dead
One
now.
day
We
she will
don't know.
follow me, and then this will all be okay.
Is that
All
why
right.
you wrote the blog? You simping just for the follow? That's what it is. I
Dude.
thought that was your heart and soul, the art you wanted to make, not that you just wanted to follow back.
I mean, listen, I used to say this a lot in my 20s, but I feel with Violet Myers very strongly. If I was in the right place at the right time and I was single back then, something probably could have happened. So, pretty.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm serious.
I love this Treasy, but also it's totally ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I think it might be time to face
Just because you tried to invite Gianna Michaels to your prom does not mean that you were close to going out with
No.
Gianna Michaels. Okay, you
My
jerk.
cousin's wedding. Listen,
I think
Hey.
it's time for you to pay some bills.
a few weeks ago, our guy Treasy was driving up to Michigan in his Mazda CX-30 when the unthinkable happened. Right in front of his car, a kayak came loose and started down the road directly at him. Thankfully, his Mazda CX-30 has an overall 5-star safety rating from the NHTSA. His Mazda CX-30 also came equipped with an eye active sense that can alert you to hazards, much like a hippie's kayak in the middle of the road, and help you avoid collisions. They even come equipped with a smart brake support. In short, if Treasy wasn't in a Mazda, he'd be dead. His Mazda saved his life. It's just facts. So if you don't want to die, head on over to www.mazdavorlandpark.com and check out their complete line of vehicles that will save your life, no doubt. Make sure you and your family are safe when you take that road trip to Michigan. And be sure to follow Mazda of Orland Park on Twitter at ZoomZoomNation as they give away tickets and parking to Sox games on the reg. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation, 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park, 708-444-3200. Zoom Zoom.
All right.
Oh,
It's
that
time
was good.
Look at that thing. A
Time for
beautiful
some White
image
Sox
up there.
talk.
Oh, man.
Time for some White Sox talk, guys. And
MSS,
so-
before we jump in, can you just answer Senor Sox's question? Is that true? Is that what the comment I'm putting up there true or not?
Oh, I don't know what that means.
Beautiful.
All
All
right,
right,
well,
let's
we'll
move on.
skip that.
I don't know.
Just keep
All right.
going. Go ahead.
Well,
Say-
MSS
jump
wanted
into
to
it.
talk about something, so I'm gonna hand it off to him.
All right.
Go for it.
Get ready, folks, because this one's going to be a doozy. Earlier this week, friend and supporter of the 108 podcast, Winkle Jones, posted a video on the Twitters that blew the fuck up. It was a video claiming to be a TA at a Southwest gate flying back to Chicago. People said it wasn't him, that Winkle was crazy and creepy for posting a video of a man. All sorts of negative reactions. But let's look at the tweet. Thank you for that. That's good. All right, so this is what he says. Tim Anderson flying home commercial to Chicago and didn't board with the White Sox earlier this evening to KC. Weird. Interesting. Something is up. And yes, you still fly with the team even if you're suspended. Now, he said it was weird. He said it was interesting. The tweet has since been deleted, but in the original tweet, that is what he said. He didn't say that he was in trouble, nor did he say that it was off the field related. He never got into any of that in the original tweet, both of which people claimed he was doing. It's like, you're trying to portray him in a bad light. You're trying to make TA do this or look like that. And I was like, what the fuck? So anyway, but he basically said that it was very peculiar that he wasn't traveling with the team, but people were angry at Winkle and they let him know it. Even TA blocked him for 12 hours. People posted random photos of random people at airports just to make fun of him. Many just made random comments about seeing so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. But then the unthinkable happened. Before the DA doubleheader on Tuesday, the team announced that TA was hurt and he had returned to Chicago to see a doctor. And the person who broke that story, Winkle Jones. He said something was up days before the Sox made an announcement. So, of course, everyone apologized to him, right? Oh, hell no. People were even more angry. They claimed his original tweet was just full of malice. They claimed that he was taking a W for a TA being injured. And that's where it ended. I was wondering two things from you guys. You can post the graphic. Your thoughts on the whole situation and if Winkle Jones is owed an apology.
It's tremendous. Okay, I'll start, Treasy. You want me to start? Okay, so when this was unwinding, I was on the lake. I kind of wasn't fully into all this stuff or whatever. I looked on Twitter a little bit. I saw that tweet. I saw the video, whatever. And I didn't think much of it. I didn't really have an opinion. So I didn't put anything out there. But I thought one thing I thought was funny of the people like responding to is like a lot of people were like, that's not TA. That's a fake. That's not TA, right? And that was the funniest part to me because Treasy, it made me think of the Chappelle when he does the mock of R. Kelly, and he's like, the only way you believe it was R. Kelly in the video is if
grandma's there taking notes.
Or Neil's there taking notes in the corner, and his grandma's there to verify. It's like that was immediately what my brain thought. It's like no one's believing that it's TA, even though it looks like it's TA. Like I don't know for sure, but I thought that shit was absolutely hilarious when that was going down. And the fact that everyone jumped to a conclusion and had a fucking opinion immediately always shocks me because I think to myself, even though I look like a dickhead a lot on Twitter, posting weird shit or things I have ideas about, I don't have an opinion on hardly anything. I have an opinion on 1% of things that people put out there. Some people can't stop themselves getting an opinion right away about any fucking thing and just fucking throwing it out there. So I thought that was tremendous. Treasy?
Yeah, so for me, I was kind of in the same boat of like, why is this a big deal, right? And like, so I remember Zoe quote tweeted and he was like, not great. And I was like, why? Like, it's very possible he's just going home because he's got days off. Like, I would do that, And at the end of the day, first of all, the Winkle Jones thing, let's talk about that one first.
Okay.
It was super fucking vague. So saying you're right, kind of.
More obvious. I called Yohan Moncada's home run, or Winkle Jones was right here. Which one was more true?
I think you calling the home run.
Me calling the home run. Yeah, I think it was more true.
But it's the same. It's in the same vein. It's like when someone will say like this, if you want to make it in the big leagues, you got to have heart. And then guys that make it, they go, well, he's got heart. Well, no, that's fucking bullshit, right? This is it's a vague ass tweet. However, Winkle should just be happy. He's stirring up the shit. It's stirred up, man. It did exactly what you want. Like, the reason you write a tweet like that and make it vague is so that everyone just gets on their jump to conclusions, Matt, and jumps to fucking conclusions. And it happened. It was awesome.
Exactly. It's a spike the ball moment. Right after all the shit when it broke, our guy Ken Will put a picture of a guy dunking. He's like, this is that Winkle Jones guy on Sox Twitter. There's someone dunking all over. I was like, that's great. But so hold on.
Yeah, I have something to say though about all of this.
Yeah, go for it, baby. Go for it.
Is that this is it? Like, yeah, it is great content. It's great content from him. Content. Terrible job by the White Sox. Like, you have a player who's had a bunch of off-field shit this year. He is one of your star players. You did a documentary on him.
Mm-hmm.
He hurt his hand. He's going to Chicago to get it checked out. Just fucking say it. Just say Timmy's on his way to Chicago to get checked out. We hope it's nothing. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying that. Like,
well, you know why they did it, though? Why they did it was a nefarious reason.
To get his 2-game suspension.
So he could serve the suspension.
That's what I thought.
That's why. If they announced that he was going for tests, they might have reversed that he was served the suspension. That is possible.
I believe that.
So what? So Because if he's out,
it's nefarious. They're trying to save a buck, Teresa. You know this team. Come on now.
Even if they're trying to save a buck, they're not really. Because like all you have to do is then when he's ready to come back, just pick send him back 2 days. Like instead of sending him on one more rehab game, you go, oh, he's back. He's serving a suspension.
It's like hit batting practice in the cage.
Yeah, like it doesn't make that big of a difference. So and you don't have to announce that he's injured. You could just say and we think, oh, you think he's fine, and then, oh man, we got a second opinion today. Not good.
We're fucked.
Like they're not good at telling the truth or lying.
No.
That's good. That's a great culture.
I agree.
But I want to get back to MSS's original question. His original question is, does Winkle Jones deserve an apology from White Sox Twitter? I'm going to say no. And the reason why not is because for maximum entertainment for the beef loaf, everyone not apologizing, not just, normally a normal, well-adjusted person just says, you know what, I fucked up, that's it, they throw in the towel. I would rather watch all of you motherfuckers who can never be wrong about nothing try to backdoor your way, Ken W.O. your way into thinking you're right about something really stupid that is meaningless. And watching it on Twitter develop is just amazing. It's just the best shit ever. And just watch a really dumb tweet like this. You bodied yourself on it. Then you got to try to weave your way around it with reverse logic to say, no, I was right about this because of XYZ reason. Best shit ever. I want it to happen way more often. I love watching all you people who can never be wrong get bodied the shit out of by yourself. It's amazing for me. I absolutely love it.
Beef, I will say my response to Zoe, I was wrong, but I'm not going to apologize to him because we've already decided fake karate next time we see each other. Straight out of I'm going to get you, sucker. We're going to be doing the karates. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. So I can't wait to see him again. Get some good low kicks. I'm ready. I'm ready. Me and Zoe.
White Sox Sal says, next time someone from White Sox Twitter apologizes for being an asshole will be the first time. I saw a couple apologies. I did see a couple apologies that were kind of funny, but they were people who didn't really go that hard, but they thought it was funny to apologize. So 7%. 7% apology. That's pretty good, actually. That's higher than I would have guessed.
Pretty high.
I mean, there was 15 million comments, so that's a lot of people.
I just wondered, and I told you guys too, I just wonder how it would have went down if you had like a different member of White Sox Twitter that posted that. If a Josh Nelson posted that, I don't think people would have been like, oh, you're trying to take down TA. They would have treated it more like news versus like just some guy posting this. And I don't think people would have called Josh weird or creepy for taking the video. They'd been like, he's just trying to break a story. He's trying to put a story out there. They should call Josh weird and creepy, but not for those reasons.
Not for that. No, not
totally
for that.
different. Mostly Star Wars related stuff, but like that would be one of the reasons for it. I'm kidding.
God damn. Shots fired.
But no,
I'm gonna pay $5 to shut your ass up.
I don't know.
You should have shut him up when you could have, Teresa. You fucked up.
You don't have enough money to do that. Come on.
I'll sell you one of these bobbleheads.
I'll trade my silence for a Ron Kittle bobblehead. You might have a deal. We could get him to sign it.
His cousin Greg.
I don't know if he deserves an apology either. I just wish that people would take these situations, and they won't, because this is what makes White Sox Twitter and Twitter in general just interesting. And for the same reasons that Loaf just said, just will take a step back when they see something and just go, hold on.
Absolutely do not.
Let me reread what I said here.
Do not take a step back.
I love when righteous people think they're virtuous, do really dumb shit like that. I just love it. I love watching them like run into a brick, like you're saying, Treasy. Righteous and virtuous run into a goddamn brick wall. There's nothing funnier than that.
And I'm with you. I'm going to run into it myself
with them.
Yep.
Exactly. Hand in hand. Let's go.
There won't be a game where Gavin Sheets homers, where earlier in that game I didn't say send this guy to the minors right now. Won't happen.
That's what the internet's for, baby.
And I'm never going to apologize to Gavin Sheets. I'll apologize to Larry because I'm scared of him.
Now, Winkle, I'm going to say this. The video quality was almost potato. It looked like it was shot on a potato. Yeah. It was not very good quality. So I understand why some
it's like that old Bigfoot video that's clearly a fake.
Right.
Or like the old Loch Ness videos.
I don't know if this is actually TA, but in later reviewing it, yes, it was TA. But initially it was like, yo, this is potato. This is Motorola Razr, pixel quality. I understand why some people are like, I'm not sure, but other these guys are just like, I mean, no, that's not him. That's totally not him. This racist ass white boy thinks all these black people look the same. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, like slow the fuck down.
I still can't tell. I don't know.
Wouldn't it be great if the Sox came out and they said, yes, that Timmy did fly home separate from the team. He is injured, but that wasn't him in the video.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Now,
this video is false.
Totally unrelated to the situation. Saw a guy driving up 35th Street yesterday in a big pickup truck that said Papa A. And I was like, I wonder if that's Tim Anderson's father. He's in here to take care of business and figure out what the fuck's going on. Because, we got Papa G. I thought Papa A, big truck, coming from Alabama. I don't know.
This is a big stretch right here.
I don't know.
I don't think
anyway, K-Dog says that the Pamela Anderson Tommy Lee video had better quality than this one. I would agree with that. Yeah. Not that I've ever seen it. Not that I've ever seen it more than
that is a well-filmed video for the genre.
Yeah. The best Gonzo video ever.
Good way to honk the horn of your boat, of course.
And the fact that it's been like overdubbed 800 times, it's still good. But yeah, no, so that was that. I thought that was the craziest thing.
Well,
not the craziest thing.
While we're on the topic, of Timmy being hurt,
yeah,
let's talk about what they should actually do. The White Sox, other than, they should tell the truth sometimes, or lie better,
fool us at least.
One of the two. What should they do without Tim Anderson? Who should be playing? What moves should they make? Obviously the trade deadline's gone, so there's nothing else you could do there. I'll start with you, Beef. What should the Sox look to do while Tim Anderson is out?
So when this news came out, I like I said, I was gone for a week, Charm Life Loaf. I was on the lake. I'm like, I'm going to give an instant reaction. So I jumped in the lake. I had my phone out here, and I'm giving a proclamation of what I think they should do. And really, for me, it's like a no-brainer. They got to play Lenyn Sosa a lot and just see if they can get anything from it. And the reason why is nothing against my guy, Lurie Garcia. I think I'm higher on Lurie Garcia than most of Sox Twitter in general. And I think he's okay as a fill-in, but you need better than okay right now. You need to strike lightning to get back and win this division. And Lenyn Sosa's got the power, and he showed it in his very first start, at bat since coming back up, hits a home run against the Royals. He struggled a little bit at the plate since then, but I think you got to take that volatility. You're going to have to gamble in that spot. I think the White Sox are not only going to have to gamble there, but they're just going to have to take more chances in general. I wrote a blog earlier in the week about how the White Sox should steal more bases because they seem to be successful. Now, unfortunately, the most successful guy at stealing bases is the guy that's hurt, is going to be out for 6 weeks, and that's Tim Anderson. But the Sox just need to get their sleepy-ass manager awake over there and take more chances and be more aggressive and press every single edge. It was interesting to see, at least now, Tony has started to use pinch hitters in spots, which I feel like he wasn't doing much early in the year. I don't know what's taken him so long, but he put Gavin Sheets up there in a crucial spot there when it could have worked. It didn't. But, he had an infield single, was fine, but it didn't
only pinch hit Gavin Sheets.
It feels like it's only Gavin Sheets, right? It feels like that's the only guy,
And he won't pinch hit for Gavin Sheets. That's not going to fuck that.
Even if just left you up.
He's a pinch hitter.
But these are the types of things that we need. And I know everyone's going to be saying, fire Frank Menachino. I want him fired now, guys. I remember I told I don't really care. Hitting coaches don't matter that much. I only want him fired now because I think he's sapping the creativity of Sox Twitter. We're spending too much time talking about firing him. You could be making pictures of cucumbers, Comcast remotes, Xfinity, everything. You should be out there doing the creativity. And Frank is killing it on you guys. He's hurting the team and he's hurting you. I'm sorry that he's hurting you. That's why I want him gone. He's got to go.
Let's start a campaign that if Billy Wires and Senior Sox come to a game together, Menachino will automatically be fired.
I love it.
It'll definitely happen if they come to a game. So let's get that to go.
We're definitely do that. Yeah. They got to get out of Billy's pool. Senior Sox and Billy Wires get to a game, and my Sox summer will watch your children, Billy. That's a promise.
No.
He's going to watch your children.
My 6-year-old will watch them.
So MSS, what do you think they should do now that Timmy's out?
Listen, we talked about this at the 5K. Everyone was saying around, and people were like, "Did you watch the game last night?" And someone's like, "Yeah, I had it on. It was in the background." Blah blah blah. I legit sat down and put the game on today because I wanted to see what this kid can do. I want to see what Sosa can do. and it's giving me something that's a little bit more exciting than like watching Josh Harrison out there again. Actually, Josh Harrison's pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
Garcia getting back out there again, and who can't swing. Although watching him try to hit a ball when he's injured is very entertaining.
It's not great.
I don't want to watch that all the time. So to see Sosa come out and play, you're like, at least it's something different. It's something that has maybe a little bit more hope to it than what we've been experiencing with the rest of the team. Like you're already ready to be let down by Moncada. You're ready to be let down when Jose Abreu is at third base for the second time in the game, and they still can't get him in because he's so slow, and they have to annihilate a ball before they can get in. It's very it's bad. But I like watching the new kids. I like putting some new kids out there. That was one of the funnest things about the rebuild, watching kids come up and see what they can do. And I think Sosa is providing that, and it's at least entertaining. So that I like that. I think they should keep him going there and just see what happens. Keep bringing up new people in. Keep bringing. I mean, at this point,
they might have to MSS. So let's think about this. Let's think about it this way. If we have Sosa at shortstop, and Lurie is actually hurt, which he looked very hurt the other night.
He did.
We'll see how he's doing probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if he's hurt and he has to go on the IL, that puts you in an interesting predicament because now you have only Sosa who can really play shortstop. You can probably have Josh Harrison fake shortstop, but then you don't have anyone that can play second base. Right? Like there's only Sosa and Harrison that could play the middle infield at that point. You can maybe fall back to Moncada, but then you got to fill in the third. They have to bring someone up who can play shortstop. And I don't know what they're going to do. There's a lot of options in that middle infield glut that they have. Not all of them are easy to maneuver to the majors. And I don't know if Danny Mendick is healthy yet. Is he healthy? Is he back?
I don't think so. I hadn't seen the timeline. I mean, that's a quick turnaround for a torn ACL. Usually, even the short turnarounds are like 6 months. So I
don't think he's going to be able to play. So it gets you into this weird position. And like, is it Yolbert Sanchez that's going to come up? Are you going to go down to Double-A and get Jose Rodriguez? Like, I don't know what they're going to do if he's actually hurt. And I think that's what could be interesting because you will likely see someone you haven't had much time to view. And I hope it's just not some like bum. I just hope it's not like we're just going to stick this guy on the bench, and if he has to play shortstop at some point, we're going to play him.
Just taking a look at last year, Teresi, Josh Harrison had 7 starts at shortstop with the A's last year. So he did actually play a little teeny bit at short last year, but that's not par for the course with him. He kind of been sprinkled in over the course of his career, but he's predominantly been a second baseman, not played much shortstop.
Beef, the other option is going after someone who's just available.
Right.
And I think Gregorius and Simmons are both still out there.
Yeah.
Floating. So
right.
And if you're talking about that, and people will be like, "Oh, get Didi Gregorius." You think Didi Gregorius is someone who he is not, because he can't hit anymore. Oh, Didi's on the Jays now.
That's what Senior Sox is saying. Good, he's out of there
because he can't hit and he can't field anymore. Simmons can at least still field. Simmons is still a good defender. He's a terrible hitter, but they both are.
Brian S. is saying Zach Remillard still has over 360 on base percentage at Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, like, everyone does though. I mean, like,
except Yolbert Sanchez. He's like the only one.
And a natural transition is not from third to second, right? Like you couldn't just throw Jake Berger at second base and everything's okay.
You have to move a lot more at second.
I've heard
at third, and he's very slow at third. I mean, you see his footwork at third is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, like the thing that saves him is he could throw a little bit. So like he's slow at getting to the ball, but he's got a little bit of a gun, so he can get the ball across. At second, I don't think that would translate well.
I don't think it would either, and that I get worrisome about that. Even though that video that we all were hard over in the offseason of him like just whipping the ball, like definitely showed that he could definitely get it to first. I'm still not sold.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could. I think you could put Moncada at second, Treasy. If you needed to in a pinch, you could start Moncada at second a couple games.
Right.
I mean,
so what
he could handle that position.
The formation that you would have then. So let's say you bring up Berger. Let's say that is your move.
Yeah. Yep.
you are definitely going to have games with Josh Harrison at shortstop and Yoel Moncada at second base. That is the change you're making. And you know what? Honestly, I would say that's fine. Make Moncada play second base. Like, it's not like he's some superstar right now.
Right.
No.
And you're paying him an escalating
A lot of money.
Yeah, for sure.
amount of money for the next few years. Maybe he can play a little bit at second base. Maybe he plays second base next year, right?
Yeah.
One way to find out. This team is mediocre as fuck.
Only way to-
Make it
Yeah,
happen.
we stink. Let's take some chances. I mean, nothing wrong with that.
And we've tried our best to lose this division so many times, and we're still right there in
still
the thick of
there.
it. So it's like, why not just do something that's totally crazy and off the wall? Why are we sticking to our guns on bullshit things? Like, we shouldn't be. Like, we definitely should not be, because it's not working. And it's clearly not working. And it's just like, that little troll motherfucker that's been up in my shit this last 2 days. I just want to say the same thing. It's like, dude, the Sox are trying to lose this division. Like, and you guys suck so much that you can't even gain any games when the Sox are playing like total dog shit against like the Royals. Like, just shut up. Like, I don't know why you're trolling me. So it drove me nuts.
The White Sox are the springtime for Hitler of MLB.
They are.
Basically what they are.
They are.
They're trying to lose, but they're staying right in it. They're right there.
Did they do a GoFundMe to get this $190 million payroll?
Toe-funding.
Whoa.
Oh, we don't talk
Bringing
about
it back.
that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
I forgot about it.
You deserve it.
No, you didn't. How dare you?
Speaking of
I
taking
totally
your
did
hard-earned
not.
money from you, let's do an ad read here.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on a live stream right now and haven't subscribed, make sure you tickle the undercarriage of that subscribe button and get on board. If you've already subscribed and are watching the show, talking smack about MSS's internet and generally meat gazing at Treasy E and I, please smash that like button in the face. If you are listening on the podcast feed and have never enjoyed the eroticism that is the YouTube version of this show, come to youtube.com/FromThe108 and hit that subscribe button. Our previous goal was 1,000 subscribers. We're currently at 1,100 plus. That's going to allow us to make minimum wage for about 1 hour per month if we do a full podcast schedule. You just can't beat that. So get your friends, your family, your dog, everyone to subscribe and allow the 108 to fulfill the dream of becoming YouTube thousandaires. I love you.
All right.
Whoa.
Let's do some betting, fellas.
Yes. Look at AI.
Time to do a little bit. Look at AI. AI is so tiny with us.
Compared to us. That's right. Carried a bunch
Beef.
of bums to the finals in 2001.
Beef, you got a couple bets for us to look at today. Why don't you walk us through what we're going to be doing here?
Absolutely. So what I'm going to ask of you, gentlemen, and I may chime in myself, is if you would take the bet at the current market price. And these are White Sox related bets. A couple of them are from our sponsor, PointsBet.com. That's promo code 108ing. So if you want to deposit there, promo code 108ing. The 108ers get a nice kickback, and we'll love you for that. And then you can
do that.
some great
Go
betting
hit
here
the link in
Illinois.
the bottom.
That's right.
Go to the
Just
bottom of the video.
bang
There's
that
a
link. Just
there for you.
get in there and bang that thing out. So my first bet for you guys is a popular one, a popular discussion in Sox Twitter, and that's Dylan Cease to win the American League Cy Young. And so PointsBet right now has Dylan Cease at plus 275 to win the American League Cy Young Award in 2022. Now, the way that works is plus 275 is basically 2.75 to 1. So if you bet $100, you would get $275 in proceeds. So you would, if Dylan won, so you get your 100 back plus the 275 if you won. So bet 100. If you win, you'll get $375 back, which is your profit plus your original bet. And if he doesn't win, you've handed over $100 to our lovely sponsor, PointsBet. So my question for you, gentlemen, is at this point in time, we've talked about this a little bit on some of the playbacks that we do with the Sox Machine crew. We have discussions. We talk over the games. Everyone should go sign up for playback when you get a chance and check us out the next time we do one of those games. We put out there on Twitter that you can come check us out and sweat a live game with us. Are you betting yes on Dylan Cease to win the AL Cy Young Award at plus 275? Treasy, you go first.
Yeah, I'm going to bet it. And I'm going to tell you why. The writers are the ones that vote on this. They decide who the Cy Young is. They love telling people how fucking stupid they are, right? And like that's part of the joy of writing, right? Like this, hey, let me explain to you why you're so stupid. And so the fact that Dylan Cease didn't make the All-Star game is it just a great moment for the writers to dunk on the people that didn't put him in. So the managers and whoever votes on the pitchers,
right?
To go, you guys are morons. Why are you so stupid? Here's the guy who was the best pitcher in the league. The other thing about it too is I think that Cease ends up having the most strikeouts in the league. And if he does that, I think that he's going to get in this day and age, that's one of the most important things for a pitcher to be able to do is to strike guys out. And between that, his team being unable to give him run support, and the fact that he's just kind of an exciting pitcher to watch on a high profile team that's doing terribly with no defense. It kind of all adds up into the story that a writer would want to write about the guy that won the Cy Young. Think about like when Felix Hernandez won it, like
right. Yep.
That was so much of a story for them. It's like, how do you pass up on this opportunity?
Yeah, no, that sounds great. MSS, what about you? Are you betting plus 275 for Dylan Cease to win the Cy Young Award?
Chirizi, you ignorant slut. No, I am not. And this is why. You talk about a story, you talk about writers, and you want writers to say how wrong they were. Justin Verlander is the best story that they can write. This guy is going to probably go off in the sunset after this year, and it's like, hey, let's give him one more. Let's give him one more award because we love kissing his ass so much. And that's what I think it's going to be more about. Now, you had another,
but they hate Ben Verlander, so that hurts them.
I was gonna say, like, have you ever think of a more like thanks brother for a job situation than Ben Verlander? Like, is Chris Penn up there with that Teresi or Frank Stallone? Like, who are the brothers
Chris
that are
Penn's
really
up
like
in heaven doing that? I mean,
now he is. But Frank Stallone would be an example. Like, we were talking about maybe Frank Stallone should play instead of Cascade during the playback the other day. Like, you think that's the kind of like
Seiko?
It is like a big thanks, big bro. That's why I have this job. Like, oh, the guy's a blue check mark. He's a media member now. Why? What has he done? Like, he's just that's my brother's famous. Put me in there.
Hey,
I love it.
Not a bad way to make a living though, if you can get it right. I mean, that's the way it is. But no, I think that Verlander, stats even and just story. Like he's got this tied up. I just don't think. People have such a hard on for the fucking Stros. The media has a hard on for him. They don't give him a hard time. They don't talk shit about him. When the Sox played those games,
appreciate you for that, Drake.
Wait, I hate to break this up. Did the Harry hologram happen?
Oh, maybe in the Field of Dreams games going on right now. Could be.
Yeah, all right.
Wow. We're not watching. We're not watching.
Let us know if the Harry Carey hologram actually happened.
I'm gonna look that up. But no, I honestly believe that Verlander is going to win this award again. Like when the Sox played him, and we had that national game, and we got curb stomped. It was just like they kissed their ass the entire time, and I had no idea what was going on in the game because they were kissing ass so much. So I feel like Verlander's got this wrapped up. Writers love him. Everybody loves him. Kate Upton loves him. Christ almighty. The guy's going to win another Cy Young. And Dylan Cease will just, won't get it, which will be good for us because then we can sign him a little bit lower on the cheap because he won't have that award to show off.
Wait, has Verlander won a Cy Young?
Yes. I believe so, yeah.
It'd be like his third. Yeah.
Okay, that would make sense.
That makes my vote even more for Cease.
Because I feel more confident now.
It's not as great of a story then. It's not. No, so you've got a couple things working against him. He's already won the Cy Young or maybe multiple. He's probably going to pitch again next year because he's just that kind of guy. He's going to Tom Brady this shit forever. And then Ben Verlander sucks. Like this is all going against him. So I'm going to stick with Cease and I'm going to bet the plus 275.
Wow, I love it. I'm going to lean towards MSS, and I think MSS nailed one part of it. Is just a great story with Verlander. We got a chance to body bag Ben Verlander, which I was planning to do, so I'm glad you guys pushed in that direction. A couple things. One, Cease has pitched so great this year. If he doesn't win, he should twist up Jose Abreu's balls. He should kick Eloy Jimenez in the knee, poke Yoel Moncada in the eye, and fart in Yasmani Grandal's face because he hasn't gotten the run support. Because the dumbass writers love wins. And Verlander's got 15, and Cease has 12, but Cease should have 15 wins if this team could score any fucking runs when he's pitching. Like, he doesn't get the run support consistently. And so I think if he doesn't get it, and especially if he has a bonus in his contract and does not get it because of these guys, because it's like a narrow margin and he loses out because he doesn't have those wins, that'll be absolutely upsetting. But then today, something else went against him. And I think you guys have to take this into account. Treasy, I don't think you put this in your calculus, but he gave up a home run to a guy whose nickname is the Italian Nightmare. That's Vinny Pasquantino. I don't think you can win a Cy Young if you let the Italian Nightmare hit a homer off you. I'm sorry. That's not – you're immediately disqualified. I can't believe PointsBet's leaving that juicy price up there. They're just taking bets they know will not win because nobody's ever going to vote for the guy who gave up a home run to the Italian Nightmare. And you know it, Treasy. You know I'm right.
The Italians.
Wait a second.
Excellent baseball players.
Italian Nightmare.
Are we talking about Dylan Cease still, or are we back to Frank Stallone?
All right. Next bet for you gentlemen is a popular one before the season, and a lot of people were jumping on it and telling you it's Sammy Panayotovich was a big guy, a big proponent of this bet before the season. And now the odds are getting juicier and juicier as we get closer to the end, and the White Sox are still not in first place. And that is the White Sox to win the AL Central at plus 200, so effectively 2-1. And I will start with my Sox summer. Would you take this bet for them to win the division?
100%. 100%. It's you're getting 2-1, so you're going to get something from it. It has good value to it. And honestly, this team has played like dog shit, and they're still right there. They are not. They could win this game. They get hot for that little stretch that we saw in July. You get another one of those. We just put one of those together in September. We're fucking fine. I'm already written off August. I know it's only the 11th. I've written it off already. Okay, I'm just written it off. Right? Yeah. If we stay around 1.5 games, that's fine. Let's manufacture something. This is September. And this team is it's like almost like senioritis with these fucks. Like, you just seem like when their backs probably are against the wall and they have to win, like they didn't really have to win against Kansas City. It just make things easier for them in the long run. But they're like, we don't really have to. So why? Like, we'll just do it later. So I think that's what's
the Sox are procrastinating. Happen. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 100% procrastinating. You're like, listen, guys, don't worry about it. It's not even September. It's not even September yet. Don't worry about it. So, 100% hammering that. I'd put $100 of Beef Loaf's money on that bet.
I'm sure you would. I like that MSS is saying they're writing the term paper the night before. I like that level of procrastination there. Teresa E., what about you? Where are you at with the White Sox? Would you bet them plus 200 to win the AL Central as of right now?
No. I have money on them already to win the Central. Yeah, I have an under bet on the Cleveland Guardians season win totals, which is going to get destroyed. My problem is normally if I was like really confident in them and they had maybe some injuries or something, and this is what's holding them back, or they're just getting unlucky, and that's why they've the amount of losses they do, and they're just still hanging around, but it's just been bad luck, like Babbitt luck or something,
sure.
It's none of that. They've just played terrible. Like, there's no reason for me to throw more money into the pit on them. I am still rooting for them. I want them to win. I'll be rooting all the way. But the level of dysfunction continues to grow with this team. The only time I see anything good is in like the 8th or 9th inning against some bum player where they're hitting home runs now, right? Like Yasmani Grandal hitting a home run today is the worst thing that could have happened to us, because Yasmani Grandal should never play first base again. He should just not. This team has 42 first basemen. No point. You don't need his bat. You don't need his bat in there. He should catch on the days that are assigned to him to catch. He shouldn't DH. He shouldn't play first base.
He should only be allowed to play first base when Billy Wires and Senior Sox actually come to a baseball game together, or even individually. If one of these bums actually get out to the ballpark, then we allow him to play first base, right, Teresa?
I wouldn't even allow him that. I wouldn't even allow him that. I think that if Billy Wires and Senor Sox would actually show up to a game, they could write the lineup and they'd be with me to not have him in it.
They would leave him out.
Well, yeah. So, and then Andrew Vaughn, I think Andrew Vaughn is a guy that like everybody is counting on as like the heir apparent to Jose Abreu, and he's this great player. And this is the way I keep thinking about it, Beef. If Andrew Vaughn is this great hitter, this guy that we should just count on to be in there, and he hit a home run today against, again, 8th inning garbage time home run.
Ninth inning, I think it was.
Ninth inning. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Get the garbage time meme together for him, MSS, when you get a chance. You know how you had the Abreu garbage time? Give the Vaughn one. No,
I fucked up Abreu too many times.
if you're a Vaughn truther, let me tell you, I like Andrew Vaughn. I think he's a good hitter. I think that I like to see Abreu and him first base and DH next year. I'm good with that. I don't want him in the outfield. It's terrible.
Fellas,
let's say we like Vaughn. He's not that great. Like, think about what team you would put him on where he'd be the best hitter. It's like 0 teams.
Yeah, no, I agree. You asked me this before the show, and I was trying to think off the top of my head, where would Andrew Vaughn be their best hitter? Maybe the Pirates? That's a maybe. I don't even know. Maybe the Rockies? I'm not sure. Like,
yeah, and
it's tough. And thanks to Greg Miller for that drink. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Cheers, Greg. And when I think about that, and I think about this is we're all going like, man, he's awesome. Abreu's having a good time. We're getting some streaks out of Eloy and Luis.
Yep.
And what's it getting you? Nothing.
Nothing.
The pitching's been good. Nothing.
Right.
Because they can't put it together. It's when they are doing well, it's not that good. Like, we're just accepting it as better because it's been so shitty. So it's just like it's the Eddie Murphy again. If you're starving to death and someone throws you a cracker, it's the best cracker of your life. When the Sox hit a home run, when a Sox hit a home run, we're like, oh, the Sox are back. But it's like, no, this is the first home run they've hit in 3 games. This is terrible.
That's a regular old cracker.
So no, I'm not betting on them.
You're out. Tracy's out. He is not betting on that. I respect that. For me, you know what it is? I mean, what it comes down to for me, there's blood in the streets with the White Sox. I, as a recovering crybaby, I can say this. It's in my Twitter bio. You can see this. The whining and crying and bitching about this team, which is deserved, okay? Us fans, we do deserve to cry and bitch about this team because they stink so far. I only mock other content creators who do that, not the regular fans. But even when Stoney is way down on this team, like that's to me is a signal. That's a signal that everyone is overreacting, that now's the time to buy. I feel like we're in trading places, and once I get in there and buy this, then the Dukes are going to come looking for it. Like we'll get in at a good price right here. And today's an example, okay? Today was like the sky's falling. The Sox lost that game 5-3, right? They got 14 hits, and so a big complaint was they got 14 hits, 12 singles, whatever. But when you get 14 hits and you hit 2 home runs in a game, you normally win that game 7-5 or something like that, right? They got sequence. They had kind of like almost bad sequence luck. Things didn't come through. The home runs didn't come at the time when the bases were loaded. They came when it was 9th inning was bases empty for Andrew Vaughn or whatever. And actually, if your manager is not half asleep, you probably win that game 7-2 because there was no reason to bring Jose Ruiz in that one spot. It's like, hey, you're down 1-0. Let's keep with this game, all right? We could still win this game. It's like Tony maybe doesn't get leveraged so good or whatever. But to me, they're so close, and they've been so bad, as MSS said, but they're so close right now. An average team could luckily win this division. And if you at all believe in any of the talent on the roster, then you really think they could get lucky and win this division. So for me, 2-1, too much to pass up. I may cash in my Twins future after the show and bet it all on that +2.
You're not going to do it. You're not going to do that. You've said it 100 times. You're not going to do it. And let me ask you this: if the Guardians win 5 straight games, can the Sox possibly catch them?
They just won 5 straight games. So if they win 10 in a row, are you saying?
Well, I mean, like another 5-game streak.
Another 5-game streak? Yes, of course. Yeah. The White Sox longest win streak this year. has only been 6 games,
Yeah,
which is weird for a team of 500. Generally, teams go on longer streaks than that during a season. Like nothing
it would
has
be
gone
great
right.
if they did, but
everything's gotten unlucky for them. They've not been good.
Unlucky? How
It's
is it
unlucky
unlucky when you're just
unlucky
watching
when you get
pitches run by?
Treasy, when you get 14 hits and only 3 runs, that's unlucky. I mean, that's just unlucky. Like the sequencing is just unlucky to get 14 hits and only 3 runs.
There's a bit of that. There's a bit of that, but there's guys that everyone's pounding the ball onto the ground. So your BABIP luck is way worse. So that's part of being unlucky, right? You're hitting ground balls. You're striking out a ton. That's part of what's causing the unlucky.
Crazy, but these balls got through, is what I'm saying. Like they got the 14 hits. It's not like, oh, they put the ball in play, they never struck out, and they got 3 hits. I mean, like that's unlucky as from a BABIP standpoint. This is just like the sequence didn't work. Everyone's telling me to do it. I will do it after the show. After the show, we're gonna dump that Twins and we're gonna put it on the White Sox. Don't
I like
worry.
everything about this. I like everything about this. The passion is lovely, and I love it when you shove it up your brother's ass like that. Because he's like, nah, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. And you're like,
he's calling me out.
I'm going to do it. I don't like it.
Well, because he said he was going to do it before, and he didn't do it.
I thought about doing it. I wasn't feeling it back then. Now I'm feeling. I wasn't getting plus 200, Treasy. Plus 200 didn't exist back then. And maybe tomorrow morning. Should I wait till tomorrow morning? Maybe it's plus 225.
Maybe.
Well, let's see what your cash out is though, because that's going to make a difference.
My cash out's going down. You're right. Because. Well, yeah, the Dodgers are beating the shit out of the Twins, man. So that was not good for the cash out. I'll look it up later on when we get further on into the show. It's the last bet. Okay, so the Sox won. Treasy's no. MSS and I are both yes. We're on the smart side of the money.
Yeah.
And the last bet.
Hey, before you get in there, this is what they showed at the Field of Dreams. Oh, I can't see it very good.
Yeah, no, I can see it. That's
it doesn't look like Carey.
No, I don't.
It looks more like the guy from the Six Flags commercials. I'm not pretending to be Harry Carey.
I'm not a fan of whatever that is.
Don't like it. Well,
Treasy, before we move on, let me ask you these questions then. Okay, let's throw these questions. And I want to see what MSS has to say, too, about these Sox questions, okay? So let me ask you this. There was a lot of talk about lack of hustle. And Stoney's jumping to the lack of hustle thing, which I think is kind of funny. I can't tell if it's a shot at Tony specifically, or if it's just old white man saying the Latinos aren't hustling. I can't tell which one it is, and I'm not casting stones, but that is something that people grab for sometimes. So my question to you guys about that, is there a real lack of hustle on this team? Or do they just have like normal, regular ass hustle, but because they've been so disappointing, they look like they don't hustle that much?
If they were doing really well, you wouldn't notice it.
Right.
But the other thing, too, Beef, is this goes back to their main problem. They hit fucking all ground balls. Just an unbelievable amount of ground balls. And when you hit a ton of ground balls, you're obviously not trying to do that.
Right.
And that deflates the hell out of you. So, yeah, maybe on the 5th ground ball of the day, people aren't running as hard. And then it gets booted, and you're like, oh, shit, he could have been safe. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not hating on them not running real hard on those. I'm hating on them hitting so many ground balls. Like hit the ball far, hit the ball in the air, and I don't have to ever worry about this.
So you're saying it's like a second order effect. Like you wouldn't notice this if the other stuff they're supposed to do well, they're doing well.
So I think it's just an area where they have to be somewhat dejected at this point.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to hustle when you're that dejected. They keep doing the wrong thing. Right?
Keep doing the wrong things, correct. Treasy, you are right. They are 4th in Major League Baseball in ground ball rate, 45.4%. They are bad. They hit a lot of ground balls.
If you were a pitcher, you'd be happy with having a 45% ground ball rate.
Yes,
this is a whole team, hitting that.
Everyone throwing to you gets 45% ground ball rate. That's right. Very bad. MSS, how about you? What do you think? Do you think they don't hustle as much, or does it just look like they don't hustle as much because everything's kind of going wrong for them? They're not getting the results.
I mean, they definitely seem dejected, and they seem down in the dumps like a lot of the time. It doesn't seem like. But then again, like even when they're like getting their ass kicked, like they still look like they're having a little bit of fun out there. So it's weird. It's just an odd mix. But I definitely don't think they're like pushing 100%. And I think Chris said it in the chat. Yeah, they've been told not to. Which, I mean, when your manager goes out and says, "Hey, it looks like they're not running at 100%," because they're not, and they've been told not to because we want to make sure these guys don't get hurt. Like, that's fucked up. Who says that? You don't say that. You don't put that out there. Like,
he's trying to protect them, I think.
But that's the dumbest way to do it. Like, literally, I mean, there's 100 different ways to do that.
Not arguing with you there.
You don't put it out to your team, other teams that you're playing. Hey, guess what? Our guys aren't 100%. So if you double clutch that ball, you probably still get us. You know,
right?
Don't say that. And
don't
I know
give that
somebody
away.
else said that. And I don't know who it was. It was somebody on the score, so I apologize. It was probably Lawrence Holmes or something. But like somebody else said that, and I
could steal that from them. We need to want all the stuff.
100% right. You know, and the optics and the press of this team has been horrible. The way this team has gone about, like they're in the midst of a losing streak of a year that's supposed to be like a fucking World Series contender, and you're sending out a goddamn survey to people and asking them what your thoughts are on the team. Fuck you. Like, I mean, I don't want that. Like, they were supposed to be winning against Kansas City, and they're sending me fucking goddamn.
I gotta reel my suck summer in here. I want to jump off a point that you said earlier. You said that they look dejected. Okay, the players they look a little dejected, and so this actually came to mind, and I just want to get your guys' thoughts on something Mrs. Beef and I were talking about a little bit. Do you think the players are mad that there was nothing added at the deadline? Do you think they're pissed a little bit at management for, hey, we could have used some help. We're in this thing. You didn't add anything. You gave up on us. What the fuck? MSLs, what do you think? You think it's a possibility?
I mean, listen, if we're using let's compare this to like when I worked 6 years ago. Okay. If I was like drowning in a job, right?
Yeah.
And I've been asking my boss for like, hey, listen, I don't, and I remember, and this is a very specific situation, but saying, hey, I just need people to bill hours, like just to do something because I have so much work and I can't do it, or I'm going to do it too quick and then we won't be able to bill 6 hours. I will do it in 3 because I have 6 other jobs. Just get some people in here to help me out, you know? And if they continually tell me no, and then say, I don't understand why we're not making as much, we're not billing as many hours. At some point, I'm just going to give up and just be like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I've asked you. I've asked you several times to help me out, and you're not helping me. So I can totally see that happening. But I can also see when they play good, and this is the scariest fucking part. When they play good, they don't need that help. Like when it's all going right and they're happy, it seems to be working. And that's the shittiest part about this whole situation. I can see why they didn't add somebody, like, you know, at a deadline if things are going good, but they have not been going good. I would say yes, that the players are probably pissed that they did not add somebody at the deadline.
Teresa, what do you think? You think they're pissed that you think that's part of this whole malaise, this whole thing is that, hey, you didn't send us any help. What the fuck? You didn't go out and get anyone and add to us and help us here.
Gavin Sheets probably happy.
I'm sure he's the happiest guy.
But no, if you're a veteran on this team, if you're Jose Abreu, are you not a little bit pissed? Are you not a little bit pissed to see that? If you're Dylan Cease and you're getting games blown in the bullpen and no run support, are you pissed? Yeah, you absolutely should be. And I'm sure they are. They're not going to talk about it, right? They're not going to bring that up,
right? They're never going to say this publicly. But I like reading between the lines. Everyone is going with the like when they're trying to bait the players about intensity and effort, right? And Jose Abreu said, I can only control what I do. I took some of that to mean, hey, front office didn't do anything. Manager, you're not doing it. It's not the players. Get the hell out of here. I didn't take it as him bodying his teammates. I took it as him bodying the front office. And I don't know. I've not heard one other person say that. I've not heard one other person say, maybe the team is down because they didn't get any fucking reinforcements in here. I'm surprised it hasn't been said because, the blame always spreads out to, it's got to be some player who's not trying hard enough or whatever. What about the guy who went and ate a chicken sandwich during the trade deadline instead of driving the race car?
Exactly.
I would be mad if my boss didn't help me out in that spot.
And you're in a position too where you're looking at this team and you're going, okay, we're playing Gavin Sheets and Andrew Vaughn in the same outfield. There could have been additions.
That's easy ones. Real easy ones.
So, I mean, like even the minor additions that we talked about,
Yes,
would have made a world of difference with this team.
For sure.
And then when you get some injuries, then it becomes even more apparent, right? And I think that there's got to be some level of the guys who are veterans or really the best guys on the team going, you couldn't find anything. You couldn't do what some of these other teams did and just grab a guy who makes sense for depth. Like, you couldn't do any of that. We weren't worth that.
We weren't worth it. Yeah, we're not worth it to you, kind of. Yeah. That's a good way to put it, Treasy. That's how I would feel if I was out there and it's like it's been a struggle. We're sticking around 500, and you added nothing in a race when we really could use it. And when the team we're competing with, the Twins, one of the teams, they added like 4 new guys.
yes.
Helpful guys for their roster, and you added nothing. It's surprising that I haven't seen that point put out there at all. But I guess we're just so reticent to blame Tony, fire Frank Manichino. The players are dead asses, and we don't and we don't look at it in the other direction. It's kind of odd.
I want to give props to Chris in the chat. He has been killing me all night. When I put up that picture of Harry Carey, he was like, I think that's TA. And then he said something just recently, and now he also just put up about Johnny Cueto trying to give the Jason Hayward kick in the ass speech. Yes. I like, how bad is it that a late signing like Johnny Cueto has become like a fucking leader on this team? Like, why has nobody else on this team stood up and like fought for that leadership? Whatever. A Lucas Giolito, a fucking Liam Hendricks has tried. I feel like he's tried, to get it, and it's just not getting there. I know we've talked about this. Like, we might not need a leader on this team. We need a goddamn leader. We need somebody to kick somebody in the goddamn nuts. Like and like to be out.
It's like
there.
I do to you. It's like I do to MSS to get him going. Kick him in the nuts.
Yes, exactly.
He loves it though.
He loves it. He's a big fan.
Sometimes I pay for it. I'll buy you a beer. No,
He loves it that much.
I just think it's sad though that like it's that weak of a clubhouse that a Johnny Cueto can come in with with loads of experience and loads
He's
of
a veteran.
knowledge. Yes. But then automatically becomes the leader because nobody else is doing it. And motherfucker, yesterday he should have won that goddamn game. I mean, when Abreu like slipped and fell and whatever, and still didn't score, like that guy deserves some support. He killed it out there, and those guys fucked up twice.
Speaking of Abreu, last bet, boys. Last bet we're gonna do. The bet is from the Book of Beef Loaf. Even money. Will Jose Abreu lead the White Sox in RBIs this year? Couple notes. Jose Abreu, the last time he did not lead the team in RBIs was 2013. So even the year when his nut got all twisted up, he still led the team in RBIs that year. Do you know who led the team in RBIs in 2013, Treasy? It's an old Treasy favorite.
2013?
Yeah.
Tell me it's Adam Dunn.
It is Adam Dunn. Absolutely right. 86 RBI. That was the last time someone besides Jose Abreu led the team. Currently this year, Luis Robert is the leader with 56 RBI. Jose's second with 55. Andrew Vaughn with the home run today, solo shot, is up to 53. It's a 3-horse race. There's nobody else close. A.J. Pollock is next at 37. Boys, do you think Jose Abreu will lead the team in RBIs? Treasy, you go first.
No. I do not. So I think it's going to be Andrew Vaughn. And the reason I think it's going to be Andrew Vaughn is Vaughn is right there with him. And the Sox are seemingly starting to play Vaughn more often than they previously did.
Yeah.
So they were saving him for something. This better be it. But he's only, I think, 3 RBI. He's 3 RBI behind Abreu. He's played 21 less games.
Right. Yep.
So in this last stretch, I think they'll play almost an equal amount. Abreu will play more than him, but not by such a huge margin. And I think that Vaughn will be in a position to do that. I don't think Luis Robert will do it. And the reason I don't think Luis Robert's going to do it is because I fucking hope sometime soon Tony's going to realize that like AJ Pollock and and Josh Harrison are not leadoff hitters, and just start leading off Luis Robert, which would, make logical sense. But I know we're not in the business of that.
Not usually, no.
Logic is the last thing you go to.
But putting Luis Robert at the top of the lineup makes a lot of sense. And if you do that, his RBI opportunities are going to be less. So I think that allows Vaughn to run past. AJ Pollock is not going to quite get there.
MSS, what do you think? I'm on the hot seat here.
100%. Jose Abreu is going to lead the team in RBIs. And there's two logical explanations for why this is going to happen. First, he's going to get pissed that Andrew Vaughn is getting close to overtaking him, and he's going to fire it up and start smashing the shit out of the ball. Second, Andrew Vaughn is going to hurt himself trying to play left field. So one of those two things is probably going to happen. Jose Abreu is probably going to win this. So I'm going to go with Jose Abreu. I would definitely put $100 of Treasy's money on that bet.
I agree with Treasy. I don't think Jose Abreu gets it done this year. I think the change in approach it hurts him a little bit, and he's realized what kind of hitter he is. I also think not having TA as an on-base machine, when TA is TA in front of him, that's a lot of opportunities for him, a guy who runs real well or whatever. I think Treasy's right. I think Luis Robert is going to end up settling in at that number 1 spot, but I think Andrew Vaughn might slide in there number 2, and so Vaughn will have a lot of those immediate opportunities to drive in Luis Robert when his good speed on base. So I kind of agree. I think Andrew Vaughn ends up taking the RBI crown, and it will give more life to the people that really want to run Jose out of town. They'll be, look, he wasn't even the RBI leader. And so it'll make for a much more fun off season. So I almost hope it happens just for the little bit of controversy.
Let's bet something. Let's bet something between the three of us. Let's bet something.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do it offline. Or you want to do it right now?
No, I was trying to think of something. I was like, hey, let's go get a hot dog. Let's go do this. Or, because I'm not into the steak dinner shit that you guys are into. I don't need to be going to RPM. I'd rather go to Steak and Shake, or Steak and Egger.
You'd think a steak sandwich at Ricky Mendes. A little more closer.
I'll get it by the end of the podcast.
I'm owed one of those, by the way.
You are. Mailman Jack owes you.
Nice.
He's not allowed to chip.
Burgers made tonight. Those look delicious. Look like Jack made some good smash burgers. Good job, Jack.
MSS, how do you feel about paying some old bills?
Let's kick it back to the old school. Ladies and gentlemen, back in the day, we had an advertiser that all of us had used at one point or another. And at 6'7", 12 inches, he's back. Dutch Movers, baby. From filling boxes to dropping loads, Dan is there for anything you need. Dan and his crew will make your moving experience as painless as possible. So if you're looking to move, let our guys Dutch Movers give you a free quote. They're rated 5 out of 5 stars on Angie's List because they're that fucking good. Dutch Movers, 708-331-2990. And remember, if it's not Dutch, it ain't much.
Well done. Fellas,
we made it.
Bringing it back. We're bringing it back. We haven't done this in a long time.
Been a long time.
It's time for last call.
Love last call.
Last call's a free-for-all, except for today.
Yes.
We're going to do an all White Sox last call.
Thank you, Sal.
Keep it up the middle.
Fuck. Yes. Yes.
White Sox Sal says, Abreu didn't need a goddamn passport just to have Goofy Vaughn lead the team in RBIs.
I love it.
I love that comment.
Tunnel Vision Vaughn is not getting the RBI crown. No.
Terrible.
So we talked a little bit earlier about if Lurie's out for an extended period of time, you got to bring up someone for the minor leagues, probably someone that could play shortstop.
Yeah.
Yep.
So my question to you guys is totally unrelated to that, but kind of related to that.
I love it.
Great
Should
start.
the White Sox DFA AJ Pollock?
I mean, yes, but I don't know the complications of whether or not it would cause that player option he has to be invoked, or that have to pay the money.
He's
regardless.
He's going to take that option anyways.
He's taking it, so you're going to owe that money regardless. I mean, I want to say yes because he's not helping this current team very much. Is it possible he bounces back in 2023 and can provide something for you for the $10 million? I don't know. I mean, I'd be happy to get rid of him. I'm fine with him going. He wanted me a steak dinner. He can go. MSS, what do you think?
I don't know. I feel like every time you want to go DFA him, like he does something good and he needs to be around.
He doesn't.
No, he does. I don't mind him as much. Like he's not somebody that he's like, again, I'm going to use the Cliff Levingston analogy from Loaf. It's just like, I'm not really expecting all that much from him. And like, he's at least a little bit more serviceable in the outfield than Andrew Vaughn is. So I don't know, like defensive wise. Okay. Once in a while getting to hit. Okay. You know, like maybe get a home. No, probably not going to happen, but maybe, I don't know. I'm not ready to DFA him yet.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Who would you rather see in the outfield on a day-to-day basis, AJ Pollock or Adam Engel?
Fuck. I mean, that's
complicates it, right?
That's a very complicated thing because
that's the choice, right?
You're going to get a very good defense.
It's kind of the choice.
Yeah.
And here's why it's kind of the choice.
Okay.
With AJ Pollock on the roster, you get AJ Pollock and Adam Engel. Without AJ Pollock on the roster, you could bring someone else up. And I'm not saying it doesn't even have to be an outfielder. You could bring Jake Berger up.
Yeah.
And have that extra guy, that extra bat there.
Because the outfield's still covered. You have 47 outfielders.
Right. None of them good.
That's
other than Engel and Robert. Yeah. I mean,
exactly. But AJ Pollock's not a good outfielder.
He's not good either. So it doesn't.
AJ Pollock is a negative outs above average outfielder.
Yeah,
well,
he's been bad.
Well, Engel's a positive.
That's interesting because that and in that case, I think that's a good it's a good view to get rid of him, to DFA him, because then you could bring in a Burger and you could have that bat come out and like you're gonna at least hopefully get his bat moving. Because I would take his bat over AJ's bat, and I would take Engel's defense over AJ's defense. All right, fuck it. DFA him. Fuck it. See you later, AJ.
You convinced them.
We're gone. Let's do it. Because you know what? This is how I feel right now, Terezi, is that we need to throw every fucking ounce of that spaghetti at the wall and just see what fits. You know, like what sticks. Because we haven't done that. Like we've been riding the same fucking fucking skate loop every fucking day, and we're like, why the fuck do we keep crashing?
Same skate loop. I like it.
Yeah, why do we keep fucking crashing? And it's like, because we're doing the same fucking thing. So let's shake it up. And maybe that would shake it up. But, I don't know. That would just be another 18 that has been destroyed by the White Sox. So I don't know. This just sucks. It sucks that another 18.
DFA Pollock, promote Oscar Colas. He's destroying AA right now.
All right.
Just gamble.
I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that. I love that. Like honestly, I'm at the point where anyone AA and up, I'm okay with bringing up.
Just bring them up.
I would actually be fine with you saying, like, hey man, we're gonna let someone go. We're gonna put someone down in the minors, and we're gonna bring up Carlos Perez, and he's gonna get some plate appearances instead of Yasmani.
Yeah. Right. We're at that point.
I'm good. Let's do it. Why not? I don't care.
Man, plus 200.
Did you put up Sleepy's comment? Did you put up Sleepy's hero?
Yeah. He said to be training no offense, no defense for no offense and great girthy D. Engel's got the dump truck too, man. Don't forget the dump truck. We don't want to forget about that.
There's a question about Colas playing in Japan from Tyler, and I believe Colas played in Japan, but he played in their minor leagues. He didn't play
and not much
in the Japanese league itself, like the main league.
Correct. I think that's right. And and it's not like he had a lot of experience there either, I believe.
Yeah, it's very short.
Look up his stats right now, but like, it just wasn't a lot in general. It's just like it was all prospect and promise. Yeah, I guess. Let's see. In 2019 was the last time he played in the Japanese league. So he hadn't really played any organized ball since 2019. And then,
but Tyler, honestly, playing in the Japanese minor leagues, I'll take that. I'll take a guy straight from the Japanese minor leagues right now over AJ Pollock out there. I'm in for it.
Yeah, I mean, he's tearing up Birmingham. He's got 1,100 OPS in Birmingham, Treasy. He's got 7 homers in 80 plate appearances. Like, just absolutely clobbering the ball right now. So
he's hitting the crap out of the ball. I love it, and he's 108 thick. I would love him right in right field, man. Give me something for the end of the season. Give me something. I was going to say give me something to hold on to, but that feels weird right after I said he's a 108 thick boy.
I know. I don't know if you should say that.
Hold on a second. Let me get the horny meter up.
We got to bring that back pretty soon. There's been nothing to get horny about, though. That's the only problem.
Absolutely
we need something to get
not.
horny about, you know?
Absolutely not.
My Sox Summer, what's your question for us?
My question is, what has to happen for you guys to give up on this White Sox team? Does it need to be another injury, season-ending injury? Does it need to be a number of games back? Does it need to be the not firing a coach or a bench coach or a manager or a front office member? What does it going to take for you to stop like caring how this team goes forward?
I could go first because this is very easy for me. They have to be mathematically eliminated.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, if they're in it, I'm all in on it. I want them to win. I will be there at the games. I'll be rooting. I'll be watching all the games. I will be doing a podcast talking about the games.
Yeah.
The only thing that would get me out of it is if they are mathematically out of it. I think the bigger question for me is what would get me back into it. And like to really go like, I think they're going to win this division. And that's kind of the flip side of your question, but I'm going to answer it anyways. And I need a series where every game the Sox hit at least 2 home runs per game.
I love it.
And then I'm back in. Then I'm going, I'm betting all of my money on this. I'm betting all my money and my Bitcoin on it. All right? We're going all in. And 3 pesos.
Get that goddamn Bitcoin in there.
Now, Chirizi, I'll ask you this. So you need 2 homers a game in a one series. So over like 3 games, you need 6 homers.
No. At least 2 per game.
At least 2 per game.
So in the minimum scenario, it's 6 total. But if they had 3, 3, and 0, I'm out. I'm still not going crazy about it.
So what about putting in like, and I was talking about earlier, like the fresh blood, putting in new guys up. Like, does that like tickle your undercarriage a little bit or no?
It
like,
interests me.
You want to watch that?
It interests me. But what I'm saying is like, for me to go, they're going to win this division.
Yeah.
For me to like put my foot down and go, it's on. We're going to win this division. The bringing the young guys up is interesting to me. I'll enjoy that.
You'll watch.
That gives me something.
You're going to watch it anyway.
It spices it up, you know, like when you do role play.
There we go.
It's like the French maid outfit.
Yeah. Or like, oh, MSS substitute teacher MSS is here. You know, like, but
he's got his ruler.
Oh boy.
Oh, BWC. But
I finally know what that means. So I'm good.
Thank you.
Yes, it only took an hour for him to figure it out.
He looked
he looked it up. He Googled it. That's
no,
right.
I didn't. When Zach posted it, I was like, yeah.
But those things would interest me. Those things would get me to like go like, I'm going to pay extra close attention to this game. But for me to really kind of just snap back in and go like, we're going to win this division. And now I'm looking at who we might play in the playoffs. It would take that series. I need a home run filled series.
Yeah,
that's the only way that I'll believe that this White Sox team has a chance.
Love it.
Let's go White Sox.
Attaboy. MSS, I'm not out at all. I'm never going to be out.
I know.
I'm always in. When they were dying in 2013 and losing 99 games, at the end of the season, I was still listening to them in my backyard, getting the grill ready with a glass of wine or whatever. I'm in. I mean, I'm hopelessly addicted to this team. So I'm not, that stuff doesn't all affect me. And to be honest with you, I don't mind that we're in a pennant race. I don't mind that we're a little bit behind. The problem for me, though, is, and I was watching the Sox Machine live stream before this, and Jim Margulis touched on it, sort of like the way it's happening. If the Twins were like out shooting their skis and everyone's having a great year, and the White Sox are having a good year, and they're just kind of behind them because they're playing great, that's a different feeling than what we're watching right now, but we're just a bunch of teams like plodding along, and your team is playing way worse than you want them to be able to play. Like if your team was playing good and they were just getting bested by a team who's just having an outrageous year, that's a much more fun year. So that's why this year's such a drag. But 3.5 games back, we got 50 games left to go, something like that. That's close enough for me. I'm still in this. I'm still excited. When we go to the game on Friday night, I'm gonna be rooting hard for that victory and hoping that we get back within 2.5 games. I mean, like I'm still all in on all this shit. Me,
they got to win
boys
that.
and Cascade are all in for tomorrow.
They got to win that game if we're all gonna stay for Cascade. They got to.
That's the only way. Cascade might not play if they lose. Cascade may say, "Fuck it, taking my check. I'm out of here. I'm not playing this game."
I don't know, man. I listen to some Cascade. I don't know if I can sit through a half hour of that shit, but we'll see.
It's an hour.
We'll see. It's an hour? I thought it was a half hour.
It starts a half hour after the game, and then it's an hour.
They are going to be serving drinks, though. I heard
that.
I hear beer's going to reopen.
Yeah, I like that. So
I can't wait till
I'll be on so much
beer
Molly,
ladies
I don't
give
know
us
if
a bunch
I'll
of
know.
glow sticks, and they're like, "Go nut." I hope Brewhand Luke brings some ecstasy. Please bring some ecstasy, Luke. Buy it from one of your high school students.
We don't do dope in this section.
No, it's not dope.
Beef, what's your question for us?
I'm struggling here. You guys want something silly or something serious?
Both.
This is the last one, so let's do something silly.
We'll go silly. Okay, let's go silly. I wrote a blog this week about Jake Berger, and it's mostly about his home run trot, the length of his home run trot. He is by far, on the White Sox, has the fastest home run trot. He gets around the bases on a home run in under 21 seconds. And that's easily the fastest, and he's about 20% faster than Jose Abreu, and even like 7 or 8% faster than the next fastest guy on the team. So my question for you guys is, do you think this is some try-hard bullshit that he's running so fast around the bases on his fucking home run when he doesn't need to?
No. I had a problem with this when you wrote the blog, but I didn't want to bring it up because I figured we'd talk about it.
Okay.
The thing is, Jake Berger hits a lot of line drive home runs.
Okay.
He hits the ball very hard, he's doesn't seem like he's trying to hit home runs. It seems like he's just trying to hit the ball hard, and it comes off his bat. Electric, right? So I don't think he knows off the bat at this point in his career that it's a home run. Like some of these ones that are just going like straight out. And so he takes that first base harder than he should. Right? Like a year from now, maybe he gets a better feel for it and he's just doing a bat flip and going slower. But I think that extra effort to first base, trying to think my fat ass needs to get a double here. He's outrunning his pace.
Falling asleep. He hates this
I'm the
question
tired.
so much.
Sorry.
What do you think, MSS? If you could stay awake for this one,
I like what Treasy said. I agree with him. I think it's a good point. But I also think that he's doing it because he doesn't want to show anybody up. He's just like, listen, let's get in here and get out, you know? So, but Treasy's answer makes a lot more sense. But I feel like he's also not looking for like some glory. He's not trying to showboat, probably because he doesn't want to get hit by a fucking ball, you know?
He'll get hit by a ball. He's the one hitting the ball. What are you talking about?
They'll hit him later for like showboating.
Oh, hit by a pitch.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. Treasy's point is total fucking bullshit because Jake Berger leads the team in no doubter home runs, meaning the shit that is obviously gone, that would be gone in 30 parks. He knows when he hits a fucking home run. He hits the ball a mile when he hits a home run. These things are absolutely no fucking doubt. Way the fuck gone out of here. Everyone's in awe of them in the goddamn ballpark. There's no way he has to run hard when he hits the ball 430 feet like he doesn't know it's out of the park. He's been playing baseball all his life, and he was a big power hitter at Missouri State. Treasy, your answer is bullshit. I don't accept it. I do not accept it.
Damn.
He knows the ping. He doesn't know the wood bat.
He's got no feel for the wood bat.
He took 7 years off to rip his Achilles off and put in robot parts or whatever they had to do to him.
So that's why he's moving too fast.
It could be the
he's
robot
get
legs.
used to the robot legs. Yeah,
there might be some hydraulics in there that they're making him run too fast.
What's the serious one?
The serious one? All right, we go down that path.
Why not?
Real quick. Has Rick Hahn quit on this team? He did nothing at the. He did nothing in the offseason, basically, and did nothing at the deadline. Has he quit on the team? Does he want Tony to go away before he's going to try hard again?
Oh man,
can I answer this differently than
go
that?
for it?
Yeah. So, I was thinking about this the other day, actually. So if you had if you didn't have a lot of thought that you might get fired from doing something, right? Why would you go high risk on anything, right? You wouldn't, right? Like, think about it. Here's a different way to think about it. If you had millions of dollars and you don't have to work anymore and you could just sit around and do whatever the fuck you want, would you invest it in anything high risk? Would you invest that money in anything?
Nah.
You wouldn't, because you're like, I could just do nothing and I'm fine. And that's
not
the position he's in.
No.
If he has no fear of getting fired, why would he do anything high risk? He could just go, I put this team together. They're failing. This team should be good enough. Everyone believes they should be good enough. They're failing. As opposed to if he went out and traded away a bunch of guys, brought back in a bunch of stuff, and then they didn't make the playoffs, then he looks bad. Then he looks bad to the ownership. He looks bad to everybody on top of what he already did. I think he's just being risk averse because he thinks if he just plays it straight and lets this play out, there's a chance they get to the playoffs, which you guys both
Still
agree
could.
they're still going to,
I still think
which
they could,
saves
yeah.
his job.
Yeah.
And there's a chance that they don't make it to the playoffs, and he could just kind of roll it over on the team and be like, I put together a good team. Everyone agreed it was a good team. They didn't perform. Yeah. And I'm going to keep my job, and I'm going to be fine. So why risk anything? Why risk? There's no reason for him to do it unless he truly just wants to win and wants to be a baseball fan instead of a guy who's just doing a job.
I'm going to 100% disagree with you. And the reason I'm going to disagree with you is if you have carte blanche, not to have to worry about getting fired or whatever, you can totally take risks. You can totally go out there and do whatever you want because you're not worried about getting fired. Because why would you get fired? Because you're not going to get fired. So you'd be like, you know what? Why don't I sign this guy and see what happens? Why don't I take a fucking runner on this dude and just see what happens? Why don't I give this guy $28 million and see what happens? He hasn't done any of that shit. Like he's played it safe. He's played it way too fucking safe and way too fucking cost effective for my taste, and I think a lot of Sox fans' taste too. Like going forward, it's just like, bro, like you didn't take risks. He didn't take any risks. Like as far as I know,
he didn't.
The biggest risk they took that he took was betting on the people they had in house to fucking get better. Like you have all these numbers, you have all these analytics of guys that didn't hit home runs and still aren't hitting home runs, and you're like, why aren't they hitting home runs? Well, they've never hit home runs. So we don't know what's going to happen. It's just like, I feel like if you're given a very long leash, you should fucking run the fuck out there and see what happens, especially if you're not worried about losing your job. I mean, why not just be like crazy with it and spend money like crazy, do whatever like crazy, because you're still going to have a job at the end of it. That's my 2 cents.
But he has spent money. He spent a ton of money. He spent it.
Oh, I understand. Right, but
like if he where the position that he's in right now, he can go, I assembled this team. I made these great trades. I assembled this team. I put a bullpen in that should perform well because they're the most expensive bullpen on earth. And they're failing. If he goes out and makes some big moves, then it comes back to him. He needs to fix his problems. But he doesn't need to. Because he's just going to go like, these guys didn't perform. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. Not my fault. And that's why I'm saying, like, I think that he's secure in his job as is. But if he shows his ass by making a bad trade, let's go back to the Tatis Shields trade.
Yeah.
If he shows his ass doing that, then he might actually attract some attention from the front office or from the ownership, I should say, and get himself fired. Or he could just like sit idly by, do very little, and let it just go by. And if he gets lucky, he gets lucky. If not, he didn't fail. It was the team.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, I understand like your point on that, but I feel like if you have an open, like you don't have to worry about it. Like just go out there, you can try all sorts of shit. Like that's what I would do. You try all sorts
if it's truly, I will not get fired any way possible.
Yeah.
Right. If he feels secure though in his current position, and it's like I don't want to rock the boat, I'll just skate along. Then that's different, and that's kind of where I feel like he's at.
I can understand that. So you're saying that he could technically still get fired?
He could if he does something egregiously wrong.
To his bullshit. Yeah.
Like if he goes out and gets Joey Gallo, and then Joey Gallo hits 115 for the rest of the season, and Gavin Sheets has 27 home runs in the minor leagues, then it starts to look, well, I mean, I think to me he's looked dumb for a while, but like,
no.
Maybe that just brings up the heat on him, and like he doesn't want to just bring on undue attention to himself.
Yeah, no, I get that. What about you, Loaf?
No, I really have no opinion. It was just an idea. I don't know. I have no idea. I just thought it was an interesting question. I'm not really sure, but
it is an interesting.
I like the way you guys attacked it because you attacked it from two different angles, and I don't know which one of you was right. I liked both your thought process there. So good shit.
Me and MSS have probably both at times in jobs been like, what the I don't want to deal with this.
That's right.
Guess what time it is, guys?
What?
Time for some thank yous.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna go first.
Do it
first. I usually end these, so I want to go first because I want to beat my suck summer to this. Thanks to everyone who came out to the 5K. It was a lot of fun. It was a great day.
Yeah,
I had a ton of fun. And what's funny is that if I had to be forced to exercise, and I also had a good time that day, then something was right. So it was a good time. I enjoyed it, and it was good to see a bunch of you out there. It was good to see Ken W.O. throw 20 miles per hour harder than me. Shane Spagnuolo throw like 10 miles per hour harder than me with his non-dominant hand. And just realize there's a reason why I haven't picked up a baseball in a very long time.
I'll say this. If we're ever in a fight, I hope Shane is somewhere close by because I think he could knock anybody out. Like Shane is just like a round mound of just like would just kill somebody.
He ran the 5K though, right? He ran.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The guy like broke both his legs like a week ago, and he ran the 5K. I'm over here going like, man, I might have to go to the hospital. I walked 3 miles.
Loaf, what do you got?
I got several. I want to thank my lovely wife, Mrs. Beef, and Bonita Stakey for one of the best vacations I've been on in a long time. It was nice to get away for a week out on the lake, have a good time. Secondly, I want to thank my guy, Jeff, and that's at JEWEINGA78, for his tweet about Steve Stone. I put a mention out there that Steve Stone was, breaking bad on the White Sox. And his tweet says, I kind of don't want to hear Stone being negative now. Some of us have been saying this all season because it's been a problem all season. But before, he thought it was better to mock us and talk down to us. So good for you. I agree with that tweet. That's another reason why I kicked my Sox Summer's ass in that debate. And finally, I want to thank my guy Ken W.O. as he's helping me with an upcoming blog that I think all of you are going to enjoy when I get that out there for you, probably early next week. I'll let you guys proofread it sometime over the weekend. Should be a hoot, should be fun, something a little different fare for us here at the 108. Kind of interesting take on something. So,
a hoot. I got to give thanks to Mike Downey and his team over at the White Sox for inviting us out to that 5K and getting us there. I appreciate that. And he sent me a thank you text. Thanks for coming out and doing that and engaging, the Twitter people with this. And bro, we will do this every year as long as you continue to invite us there. We will do this, and it was fun. The speed pitch thing was awesome. Like when everyone was gone and there was no more kids up there, and we were like, "Come on, Ken, you got to come. We got to do this." It was fun. It was fun to throw baseballs against people, and I didn't really care. Just so you know, I wasn't really caring. Also, big shout out to Justin over at Wings and Rinks for reserving section 108 for us after the race, and just like allowing us having our favorite waitress Jamie over there taking care of us. We had a great time on Sunday. Watched the game with friends and new friends and everything. It was great. So come out, give them a little bit of love if you go to a game.
All right, everyone. That's it. If you're listening on the audio only version, we got something else coming up for you in a second. But if not, we'll see you guys all later.
Peace.